friends, happy weekend. Right before going to the gym, I thought that it's the best time to talk to you a bit about body dysmorphia because today, the 13th of May until the 19th of May, is the official body dysmorphia awareness campaign where we need to be really looking deep into our bodies, into our minds, into our spirits, and see what's really happening there. And if you are struggling with this, and I got some very heartfelt, heartbroken questions from you guys during these few days that I have been posting stories and videos about this. I know it's very tough. I know how painful it is to want to do something, but at the same time, your system, your mind shuts down completely. You cannot even grasp the idea of doing that thing. And in honor of these feelings, because we need to honor them, we need to be very mindful that while you reject them, while you feel that I'm guilty, I should not be feeling this, I have everything going on for me. Hi, nice to have you here. Thank you so much, Raina. Let me know if you have any questions about body dysmorphia. I'll be here for just a few minutes to share some insights and do a great exercise with you because I have this agenda and I got so inspired by this small logo here. It says body, mind, spirit, and you have balance. And I was thinking, can we ever achieve that balance? Is it really possible, or is it something so utopic that it's mainly like potential? You want to look at it from all the angles, but at the same time it's not really achievable because it's so much that we are going through. What do you think? Nice to meet you too, Raina. Great to have you here with me. Now let's do this exercise because what I want us to do is to start acknowledging our body fully, not just our mind. So the question that I wrote down before starting this live session is, how do I feel in my body? Can you please take a moment, take half a minute and just to write down how do you feel in your body? Just anything that comes to you. But please take this entire sentence into account. It's not just how do I feel, it's how do I feel in my body, so that we don't resist tapping into this body anymore. So take half a minute and write it down. Okay, well, I did the exercise as well. I wrote down some things, and to be honest, yeah, if I don't judge anything as I put it down here on the piece of paper, it's that my body feels disconnected. This was the first thought that came to my mind, and it's okay. And anything that comes to you, I don't want you to be frustrated as to why am I feeling this. The thing is that, let me just give you an example, what I'm going through right now. My daughter was sick, so I was extremely stressed. This is something that I learned to deal with. She barely gets sick, but it takes a lot of time for me to just make sure that she's okay, a lot of effort, a lot of energy. Then my grandma was sick. She was in the hospital. And it was just awful. It was such a tough period for me. So no wonder why the first thing that came to my mind as I wrote it here in the journal was disconnected. I'm disconnected from my body. What we tend to do, my fearless friends, is that we get numb. We have this coping mechanism of letting all of the feelings in a place, in a corner, going on with our days and just making sure that we don't fall apart. And the thing is that this also helps most of the times, because what happens is that on the spot, when you are extremely overwhelmed with feelings of grief and pain and uncertainty and so much fear, you cannot deal with these emotions on the spot. So that's why the exercise that we just did together, do this every single evening before going to bed, because that's a great time for you to just slow down, take your mind off of work, off of anything else, and just come back to you, come back home to you, come back home to your body, because the most restful and stress-free sleep and recovery comes when you are fully relaxed in your body. And now you could be asking me, well, Roxy, is this ever possible? Can we ever feel fully relaxed in our bodies nowadays? And yes, we can. It's this societal convention that life is tough, life is stressful. No, it's not. This is a decision that we consciously make at one point when we truly want to overachieve. But it's not the case. You need to stop. You need to ask yourself some questions and see, how do you want to feel at the end of the day? Because you may be doing 30 things per day, but is your mind quiet? Is your mind peaceful? I'm so glad that this resonates with you, Raina. Thank you so much for saying that. Now, my fearless friends, this is a very interesting exercise that I want you to put in practice every single evening before going to bed. Just ask yourself this question that we talked about earlier. How do I feel in my body? And see how amazing it truly gets, because you'll have some aha moments. You'll feel some great relief when you start to understand that you basically only need to be aware of the things happening in your body. Because to be honest, when I wrote this down, the fact that I feel disconnected in my body just gave me such a great solution. Okay, this was why I kind of had this unease this morning, and I did this exercise last night before going to bed, and it's quite a difference. You get to validate your emotions. Don't reject them. As much as possible, do not reject any of the things that you are feeling. And yes, I do agree, don't go into them if you feel that you are too overwhelmed. You only need to validate them, knowing that they're there, you accept them, but do not start to push them away, because that's when you start to be fully numb. And it takes a lot of time for you to come back and connect with yourself again. It's a very painful process, and I was there in around 2018, 2019, and it's a lot of mental pain. So my fearless friends, put this exercise in practice. Let me know how it goes for you. If you have any other questions about body dysmorphia, this is the month, this is the week that you need to tap into your body, accept it fully, and know that anything that comes from the outside is not personal. We only see and feel and say, yes, those things that we have inside of us. So if you feel that someone's aggressive and coming to you saying that, oh, you look like this and that, you should be doing this and that, they're talking about them, because we sometimes overflow and overflood our systems with frustration and fear and anger, and we just don't know how to deal with it, so we just put it onto other people's shoulders. But it is not the case for you to take anything personal. So remember to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, knowing that they may be going through pretty tough times. So my fearless friends, have a great weekend ahead. I'm off to the gym in just a few minutes, and I'll be talking to you very soon. Raina, ma'am, can you explain about topic self-control in body? Okay, oh, this is very interesting, Raina. Well, I have another minute left, but can you please be a bit more specific? Self-control in food, in eating certain things, refraining for doing certain actions. What do you mean here? Because this is such a broad topic, and thank you for asking that, but can you be a bit more specific? A bit about self-control in my experience, telling you something general until you answer the question. would be to just think of, again, this great question: how do you want to feel at the end of the day? And let's not get into the very big goals. How do you want to feel when you have that amazing goal achieved, when you have the perfect body, the perfect life, and the finances and everything? Just focus on each day at a time, because if you think of, well, I have a big goal. Let's say that I want to be shredded. I want to have my abs six-pack like I'm doing now, just to get my body back in full shape. It's going to take a while, let's be honest. It may be a month or 2 or 3 or even more, it depends. But I want you to think about how are you feeling at the end of the day. Don't look at the big picture in this case, because you will be overwhelmed and you'll think, oh, I have a lot of time. I'll have just a lot of time. I'm not going to bother with this. But if you are thinking about today that's going to end in just a few hours, the situation is going to be very different. So, Raina, the best question that you could ever ask yourself is this: how do I want to feel at the end of the day? And I hope I answered your questions. Let me know if you have any other questions in the comments of this live session, and have a great weekend, everyone. I'm off to the gym. See you soon.